Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make DIY plant pots using a lightweight concrete mixture called Papercrete. This is the mold that I'm going to be using. It's just a plastic plant pot that I got from the dollar store. This is the bowl that I like to use when mixing up the Papercrete. It's a nice shallow bowl, but it is large, so it's really easy to get it all mixed up evenly. So the recipe for Papercrete is 3 parts paper pulp, 2 parts Portland cement, and 1 part perlite. If you want to learn more about how to make paper pulp and what exactly Papercrete is, I will leave a link down below to my Papercrete playlist. So make sure that you mix the Papercrete batch up really well and that all of the paper pulp pieces are coated with cement. The next step is to use a release agent on your mold so it's easier to get the Papercrete out once it's dry. I like to use cooking spray because it's just really easy to give it a nice even coat, but you can use whatever you have on hand. Any type of oil will work for this. And now is the fun part when you get to fill up your mold with the Papercrete. So once you have completely filled your mold, you're going to put the entire thing in plastic. And if you can't put the whole thing in plastic, you could just cover it with a plastic sheet. That's fine too. And you'll leave it in the bag or under plastic for about 7 days. It's kind of dependent on the weather. What I like to do is a 2-step curing process. So it'll be under plastic for about 7 days. I'll take it out of the plastic and let it cure and dry out for about another 5 to 7 days, depending on the weather. So this is what it looks like after curing. It's still a little bit wet, as you can see. It's a little bit dark gray still, but it has dried enough that I was comfortable taking out of the mold. And you can definitely feel it if it's not dry enough. If you could push your finger in it and leave a dent, it's not dry enough. So you could see here I'm kind of testing it, and it's definitely dry, but there is still some moisture in there. But essentially, to take it out of the mold, you're going to just want to kind of pull apart the sides and it comes out pretty quickly. So as you can see, the mold that I used left really beautiful ridges on the side of the Papercrete. So that's what I like to look for in a mold, is any interesting lines, any sort of curvatures to the mold, anything that'll be really interesting. That's kind of what I look for. And then to clean up the edges, as you can see, there's kind of a rim around the top that doesn't look so great. So I just use a little bit of sandpaper and gently kind of buff that off, and I think it gives it a nice finished look. So this is what my Papercrete pot ended up looking like after it was completely dried out, no more moisture. It is a nice kind of light gray color. You can paint this if you want, you can seal this if you want, but I just leave it as is. But I did add a drainage hole, and you could do this while you're putting your Papercrete in your mold. You could just use a pencil or a stick or something and make your drainage hole. But I just like to do it after the fact with a drill. It just makes a nice clean drainage hole, and it's super easy. Alright, this is the final result. I'm really happy with how it came out. I'm loving this mold. I want to find it in a bigger size, because you could go bigger, you could go smaller, whatever size you need. Just find a mold that works for you and have fun. I hope you try this out, and if you do, please let me know how it goes. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.